Alright, I'm gonna give y'all part one because it's a long story. I put it on something, but I feel I ain't tell the whole story right. And I'm not gonna tell this whole story right now because pretty soon I gotta go on and hang everything up. But I wanna listen to some more music. But this is how we gonna start of my history. We ain't gonna start of everything. We're just gonna start with the music part. And I'ma just tell you the music part. When I was 18, no, when I was 17, I started freestyling. And I would just freestyle, I go to parties and freestyle and shit. People always just said, you gonna rap? I'd be like, I said at 12 years old I wanted to be a rapper, but I ain't know how to rap then. I always thought somebody would ghostwrite my lyrics. Even at 14, when I was having it deeper in my brain to be a rapper, I just thought, ghostwrite my lyrics, I'll spit the shit. But you know what, I was young, and plus, I think if I wasn't under the, not strict rules, but my supposed to be parents wasn't having it. As Jehovah's Witness, you can't go there and cuss on. If it wasn't for that, I probably could, or I'll tell you like this. I know them well enough to know you could sell that bullshit. That's because I had to work my way up. But if a person came to them and just said, I got a ghostwriter and we would give you $1 million, I swear to God right now they would say he can rap, but it wasn't. People could say all that bullshit, but it wasn't. Rap ain't, you don't just make it overnight. They was like, you gotta do this and that, you ain't rapping, blah blah blah. So I was just like, I want to be a rapper. But as I got older, at 17, I started freestyling. I would go to parties and I would just freestyle at parties, and I would freestyle in the room by myself. I'd be in the room listening to music. I always listen to music. It's like TV to me. I listen to music more than I watch movies. Music is part of my life. I think that's almost every musician. It ain't just me, because I look at musician movies. I mean, if you're a musician, if it's really in you, music is like, you'll rather listen to music before you watch a movie probably. But so I used to be in my room and I do that today. Now I done took it to where I write everywhere I go. I don't care where I'm at. And so what happened was, I got about 19 years old and I went to Job Corps. Some things happened. When I came back, I made changes. I ain't know I was gonna. When I made them changes, something happened. My supposed to be parents are ugly. My real dad, I look at him as my dad, but he ain't raised me. It's some things that happened. And so around this time, I didn't know what I'm telling you now that they had something to do with it. And so I gotta say, they created something. They ain't created the fully. But the year in 2001, I started writing. It's like I found out the ugliness that was behind and everything, and I was always having problems at home, and I just started writing. And I really didn't know I would. In a way, I had a feeling it was gonna go there to where I would just be ready to take this music by storm. But I was just at work one day. I see this cat, and he's just like, well, no, I see him, and I seen a flyer in his car, because I was at Mr. Car Wash vacuuming cars. This back home in H-Time. I say, yo, who this? He said, that's my artist. I say, your artist? He said, yeah. I say, so, this came out of nowhere. I was writing every day. I just said, hey, y'all looking for rappers? He said, yeah. He gave me his card. This is in the very beginning. I was 21. I ain't had nothing out. This is before the internet was back then. The internet wasn't invented. If you said Spotify, we would be like, yo, we can't wait till that happen. you know. So I was like, okay, cool. He gave me his card. I called him and said, man, I got all kinds of raps written, blah, blah, blah. He said, man, do you got a demo? I said, nah. He said, man, I need to hear you on something. You gotta record yourself. Let me hear how you sound. So what's funny is I knew a neighbor. Me and him knew each other from around the trailer parks. And I don't know, he just so happened to show up that exact night. I hung up the phone thinking to myself, I gotta get in the studio, I gotta do something. And he just showed up and said, what's up? I'm like, what's up? We get to talking. He said, I got a karaoke. You want to rap? I say, hell yeah, I gotta make something. I gotta make something for this manager. So I go in there. You know, I laid down. Okay, if you heard, what's the name of that song? Public Announcement Part 2? That's an old song. I just re-rapped the song. I got a few songs now that goes from way back. And I just re-rapped the whole thing. Okay, back then, that Public Announcement Part 2 you heard, I done that night in 2001. I didn't call it Public Announcement Part 2. Public Announcement comes from Public Announcement 1, and it just went on and on with some of the real shit, because Part 1 was real, and sometimes I feel if it's some good shit to go with, we just go on and on and on. But, so it was called Mind of an OG, and I gave him the tape. See, some of you probably would say, what the hell is a cassette tape? See, back in my time, we had different kind of TVs, we had CDs, we had tapes. CDs is one thing, but if you say a tape, a lot of y'all be like, what the fuck is this? Now CDs, I know a lot of y'all know about it. But anyway, so I gave him the tape. And this was a karaoke. I just got in this house, boom, 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 boom. He was like, yeah, I liked it. You sound good. You know what I'm saying? That was it. So he said he liked it, and as far as that go, it was going on, and I thought it happened overnight. That was one thing. So I was just waiting every day. I write every day. And I was dealing with the negativity with my supposed to be parents. You know, they didn't think I knew what was going on. So I'm dealing with them, but I had it in my head, I'm finna blow up overnight, which that was back then, which it don't. To all of you that's rapping, it don't happen overnight. But back then I thought it did. And so where do I go with this? Oh, okay. Now, he called me and was like, yeah, man, your shit jamming, but you got to talk about something else. You talking about thuggish shit, which I see back then. I don't know if I want to say my style was different, because I've always been a real cat. It's just over the years, I'm spoiling the story. But back then, I guess I talked about a lot of thuggish shit. So he was like, man, you got to talk about just different shit, I guess. Riding and nigga, do you hear me? I don't even talk about riding and swinging right now. I ain't got no fucking 24s and millions of dollars. I was just like, I ain't doing that. So I quit fucking with him. So then it was on me to keep it up. I felt like, yo, you did that demo, he liked it. I mean, shit, we gotta get in the studio. So this one fraud ass nigga, you know what I'm talking about. I knew him and he knew the Studio Connect. And I talked with him, he got me in, you know what I'm saying? And I worked on my first CD. It was the year 2002. And by 2003 it came out. I was on the street selling CDs, and back then I wasn't wearing clothes like I wear now. I mean, even back then I wore clothes stylish, but I'm talking about how I first started. I started off just wearing what I had. I wasn't worried about driving this and driving that. I was worried about my message getting heard, my songs getting heard, and it happened. Real simple. Now, before that came out, this devil my supposed to be sister was dating, was in witchcraft. You see, I've been through a lot behind him, and her and my supposed to be parents knew about it. That's one. And see, before this CD came out, some of his friends stole some of my music. that they knew about because he had the key to the house. Mind you, they don't live there no more, but you give them a key to come in the house when we're not there. My music got stolen. Things got very heated. I got very mad, but they knew about all this. You see, some of you may have known about what's been going on with me and this and that. This is a long time ago. This don't even hurt me no more. I mean, all I gotta say is I'm pretty sure they hear about how good I'm doing. They can stay where they at. I'ma stay where I'm at. They leave my woman, everybody alone. Yeah, leave it. Stay where you at. That's all I'ma say. See, back then it pissed me off. Now it don't. I'm older. I'm over that shit. You can mention that. I wouldn't be mad worth the shit. You know, it's an old saying of getting over things and moving forward. You can't let something keep you down. So anyway, when I found out they stole my shit, I was mad. I was like, y'all gonna, first off, I've been trying to stay on my own. These motherfuckers fuck with me. My music mean everything to me. Once they stole my shit, it was on. Some of you might have heard that. I mean, it's some of my old shit that still goes around because it's gotten to where some people still sell it on bootleg, and I guess it's on phones after they hear it. So some of you might have heard my old stuff, and if you have, you can see some of the songs I didn't re-put it on wax. I re-rapped the shit. So if you heard it, then you know some of the songs I re-rapped, which ain't much. But when they did that, I was hot. So I put H-A-N-K down, Hoe Ass Nigga Killer, and that was on my first one. Then H-A-N-K remix. And you know, it was a diss toward them, and I was ready for war, plain and simple. And let me see, how else do I say it? So around this time, damn, this is a long, like I said, it's gonna be 1, 2, and 3, because I'm ready to stop right now. But I'm gonna try to get to a good depth, then I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna let y'all hear the rest. So around this time, I kept working on H-A-N-K. That was my first CD. I got to living with a person I used to be cool with. You know, I'm not a new person now. This is old news. To me, my age, this is so old. To you, this is new news. But like I said, I moved on. This was back then. This person, you know, he used to be like a brother to me. And I know y'all, hold on, my glasses falling off. Now, I know y'all know I'm very anti-racist, and I hate racists. So this was one of the closest friends of mine that was white. You know, when I was a 60 Crip, when I was younger, we had whites, we had Hispanics, blacks, but this one right here, me and him was real cool. He was white. I took up from him through the most. He took up for me. If anybody had a problem with him hanging with me, he'll take up for me. I mean, I gotta give him that. I mean, this was back in our times when I was, around this time, I was 22 then, he was 21, but we met when I was 18, he was 17. See, I was selling weed when we met, and I would sell him weed. I mean, we would hang out and just smoke, blaze. I mean, we came from like Cypress Station. I'm from Homestead, 1960. I met him in Cypress Station. I didn't go too far back then. I felt it wasn't worth. When I did go back there, I was talking about freestyling. I ain't tell you that part of me meeting him. I used to break in houses back then, selling weed, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, we kept in contact. We hung out. He was a person I hung out with a lot. You know what I'm talking about? I fell out with him kind of moving in with this dumbass bitch he was dating, childish ass bitch. I mean, shit, you can only try to tell somebody so much, but once he crossed the line with me, he already know what it was. I mean, I'm pretty sure he listened to my music. If it was up to me, yeah, you could listen to my music. I ain't gonna tell you no, but me and you can't be cool no more. He know what it is. I'll never in my life ever just say, let's hang out again. We can't do that. I mean, And this year, 2002, when I moved, see, I didn't know the problems he was having with this dumb bitch. Sometimes you don't know what you're looking at until it gets that close. He wasn't telling me things until I moved in her house. We was living in, this bitch was what, 19, I'm 22, we 21. Bitch is stupid, childish. I mean, not to mention she fucking, God my witness, she was fucking a whole lot of other people. We all know that, but let me be quiet. But so I was just trying to be the best friend I can to him. He took my kindness for weakness, and when he done that, and when I left, my CD wasn't out yet then. But when I left then, I was back at my supposed to be parents' house. When me and him fell out, it was like I was alone then. I'm in my supposed to be parents' house, but it's weird when you're in devil's houses and they think you don't know. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how much more to explain that, but I knew what they was doing behind my back. When they thought they was getting over on me, I was kind of getting over on them. But at that time, it's like I feel like, damn, that was one of the. I had other friends, but that was kind of a congregation Jehovah's Witness thing. Like one of my homeboys, Brian, we grew up together. We just kind of ain't always hang out every day. But that's my dog to this day. I mean, if we see each other, it's kind of different with him because it's just a whole different phase compared to my other people's. So I feel like I was just by myself, but I kept to my pen and paper. I watched Baby Boy. We gonna kind of get close to concluding this because it's a long story and I want to do it right. And I'm only telling you my music part. I'll give you I don't need to talk so much. Just, you'll see the other, you might see the other parts. I really need to be quiet on that. But anyway, I watched Baby Boy. If you ever watch this movie, Baby Boy, you'll see when he say, I'm the master of my abilities. And he just said, look at this person out here selling cakes or whatever. You know, if you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about. He had it in his mind to sell them dresses and them clothes. I knew when I seen that movie, something said it's time to bring this CD out, bro. You may not have a record deal, but you can go out there and push yourself. To tell you the truth, I learned my hustle mentality from that. Because you have to have a hustle mentality to go out in these streets to sell anything. And nowadays, you gotta have a hustle mentality. If you give somebody a flyer and say, listen to me, you give somebody a flyer and say, hey man, listen to me, they might not listen to it because you didn't, but you put some hustle and mentality in that and show them it's worth switching their phone to, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna do it. You have to have that mentality, especially if you're a rapper. If you ain't got that mentality, you really don't believe in yourself. Because I know I'm tight. That's one thing. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to make sure you listen to me. Because, I mean, if you heard of me now, you know what I'm saying. I keep saying shit real to the fullest. So, when I looked at that movie, I said, damn, it's time to really just go out there and push your CD. And that's when I talked to the guy. I was in this studio. I talked to him to have my CDs printed up and said, bro, H-A-N-K, that's what it's going to be called. And that's when I was ready to go out in the streets and sell my first CD. This is part 1. This is a long ass story, so let me stop and relax, because pretty soon I gotta, you know what I'm saying, hang everything up. Let y'all see part 1. I'll go on down the story later. This is part 1.